Live from the Student Union on campus, this is Goldmine Live. Your weekly all-access pass inside Charlotte Athletics is brought to you by Ortho Carolina, proud to present the 2016 Charlotte 49ers football season. Bojangles, Academy Sports and Outdoors, your Carolina Ford dealers. Go to yourfordchoice.com and enter the Adventure Ready giveaway to win a 2017 Escape or Fusion from your Carolina Ford dealers. Harris Teeter, University Eye Associates, and by Wells Fargo. Now, here's your host, the voice of the 49ers, Matt Swearad.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Goal Line Live, the Halloween edition here at the Student Union today on campus as the Niners coming off a bye week, coming off a big win against Marshall, too. Back on the road this Saturday, going down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to take on the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss. Another big road game coming up for the Niners. Alongside Kevin Donnelly, Coach Brad Lambert, Matt Swearad with you, and we'll be joined later on to talk a little women's soccer with head coach John Cullen as the Niners host the Conference USA Women's Soccer Tournament beginning this week here on campus. Our special player guest coming up later on is offensive lineman Jamal Covington. So, Coach, good to see you again. Back off a week of recruiting, coming off that big win against Marshall. And that was a special game, special win, and big one for the program.
Yeah, no question. That was a good day for us and what we're trying to establish here. And such a good program at home. Marshall's played extremely well in that stadium over the years. Told our team going in, they probably the winningest team in the 90s, in the top 2 or 3, in the 90s. And Coach Pruitt, what he did there, what Coach Donnan did there, and even what Doc's done there, they've had a lot of success, over the years. So that was big for us. Our guys just stayed focused. They just kept playing and found a way to win the game in the end.
We've seen some big plays, certainly when you look at things not go our way, and we got some breaks again this week to get that win, but you kind of kept playing the whole 60 minutes. You guys just kept playing the whole 60 where you never gave up. When you had that late in the fourth quarter, it looked like it might have been a fumble on a catch. It was overturned on the replay. Your defense came out and made some big plays.
Yeah, and that was a big play in the game because when it happened, I thought the game was over because I thought he caught it and got the first down. And, the game was over right there. If we make the first down, we knew the game was over. But then it went from that to, okay, we fumbled. Now we got to go play defense. And then they replayed it, and it was an incomplete pass. So you just got to keep playing. I thought at the 8-minute mark was really big. The week before against FIU, at the 7-minute mark, we were kind of in the same spot, and really called the whole team up. At the 8-minute mark right there on the sideline and said, hey, let's go expect something great to happen right here. We got a chance to win this game. Let's go out and finish the thing.
All right, listen. I want to start the show over here because we started this thing kind of somber. That was a huge win 2 weeks ago. We got to kind of marinate on it the last couple of weeks. A great win against Marshall. The defense, let's talk defense. The defense was fantastic in that second half. There's a little bit of bend to them, but they didn't break, and they gave up 0 points in the second half. What a great performance by them.
Yeah, I think the play of the game really was the fumble through the end zone. There was a penalty on the play, but if you watch Ben DeLuca, he's the backside safety, comes all the way. He passed up a lot of people on our defense to make an unbelievable play, knock the ball out. It was fumbled through the end zone. We get the ball. And that's what you've been trying to tell the guys on defense. Just keep playing. Just because they get in the red zone doesn't mean they're going to get points. So just keep playing, stay patient. And the one thing we've done over the last 3 weeks is we've just avoided the big play. Our guys are in position. They're doing much better, and they're not giving up the chunk plays, the explosive plays. And so that was kind of the thought process there. That was a big play in the game because it was the first drive out of the second half, and I thought Ben made a fabulous play coming from the backside.
Well, and it's, you talk about the defensive side, guys doing different roles that they did extremely well, but that, to me, it was a good team experience. They played well as a unit.
Yep.
No big plays behind you. Not a lot of mistakes and coverages or things like that. It just seemed like a clean game in terms of Marshall was going to have to earn everything they got that night.
Yeah, and when you can stop the run, you got a chance. And I thought, offensively fit in there good. It's just as a whole team, they really played well together. Offense answered when we had to. Came out and answered some big drives. Of course, Hassan's play to finish that drive was phenomenal. And so, just kind of kind of rocking along there and on the road in a tough environment. And, the guys really responded well.
The touchdown that put you ahead by Hassan Kalu was fantastic. We'll talk about that also. But let's go back to the second quarter, where I thought midway through the second quarter, the defense really started to pick things up. You started getting some pressure on the quarterback, Litton, and that kind of changed the whole dynamic of what was happening out there.
It did. When you can get pressure with Larry, Brandon, I thought Nick Carroll played a really good game, one of his better games since he's been here. Guys were really, Tyreek Harris just keeps progressing, getting better. It kind of challenged Nick Cook and Carrington King. I didn't like the way they were playing in the first quarter. We really kind of got after them, and they really responded well. But yet it just kind of fit together, all pieces, and that's what's got to happen. Made a change at kicker in there. Didn't like the way Steve was doing his deal, so we just made a change at kicker, and Blake came in and responded well. So just all the way around was a good performance for us.
Now you're sitting at 2-2 in Conference USA with the bye week, and you guys are still pretty healthy going into the bye week this late in the season, but it did get you a chance to get some guys some more rest and get ready for a big game this week down in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, no question. I thought the open date came at a pretty good time for us. We played 8 games. We got 4 left. One disappointing thing, we lost Eugene for the year. He broke his arm there in the first half, and so that'll hurt us some, because I thought Eugene was playing really at a real high level. He's really starting to come on. So the one good thing is we got Jamal back. We weren't planning on playing him as much as we did in the Marshall game, but when we lost Eugene, we had to kind of up his reps. So hopefully, we kind of try to monitor his reps during the week. He didn't get as many last week. We try to watch his reps throughout practice, because we're trying to get him through these last 4 games. Hopefully we'll get Terrence back this week. Terrence Winchester looks like he might be able to make this trip, give us some added depth in the secondary. So hopefully we can get him back as well.
We'll travel down there on Friday. What's the last week been like? Of course, you had the bye, so you didn't go hard all week long. What's that? What was that week like? And now you ramp back into a regular work week this week.
Well, as soon as the game was over, we got back pretty late Saturday night and got on a plane Sunday. All the coaches got on planes, went out recruiting all day Monday, then flew back in Tuesday morning. We went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, practiced pretty hard Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Went a lot against each other a lot, conditioning, fundamentals, things like that, playing the game, and even looking at some young guys throughout that process. Then gave the guys the weekend off, and then back at this morning, and then we'll practice this afternoon.
If the coaching staff a nice weekend, family time, get a chance to, at least for a couple days, to get away.
Yeah, I think everybody always needs to take a deep breath somewhere in the middle of the year, and this is usually when it is on your open date, because you're going pretty much full tilt from the end of July, the last week of July, all the way through now. You're going pretty much 7 days a week, so everybody needs to take a deep breath, decompress a little bit, and then boom, right back at it for this last month, because even in this last 4-week stretch, as soon as the season's over, you're back on a plane, you're going recruiting for another 2 weeks. So you really got a 6-week period here. It's pretty intense.
You're coming off a big win like that against Marshall. Is this something, maybe if the schedule wasn't quite the way it is, you'd like to keep playing and keep that momentum going, or you felt like the bye being at this time of year was actually a good thing and probably the best thing for this team?
I think it is. I think it's pretty good timing. You'd like it. Generally for us, it always falls somewhere in October, and it works out pretty good for us. I kind of broke it down in 3-4 game seasons. So here we are in the last 4. We need to play well down the stretch to give ourselves an opportunity to attain some goals that our team has set for ourselves.
Well, and it's nice with that big win against Marshall and then the first Conference USA win against FAU. I think it gives this team, those seniors that have been fighting for you so long, that hope of finishing up this season strong like they want to, but also I think the fan base and the younger players with this team, these next 4 games are important and they mean something, and there's a lot on the line that they still can achieve this year.
Yeah, no question. Staff's been working extremely hard to put ourselves in a position to, make it worth something here down the stretch, and there's a lot to play for. The goals that our team has set are still sitting there, and so we got to go on the road, play a really good Southern Miss team that beat up on us pretty good here last year. So a tough environment, but it's a it's a good opportunity as well. We tell our guys all the time like that's a tough road game to go play at Marshall, but what a huge opportunity in the same fashion. So it's no different this week. You're talking about a team that played for the conference championship last year in Southern Miss, and so this is a huge opportunity for our guys to go on the road and play against a good senior-laden team and see what we got.
4 games ago, as Kevin mentioned, still a lot to play for. And same for Southern Miss. They come into 5-3, 3-1 in Conference USA, and they're going to try and get that 6th win to get bowl eligible. So it's going to be a good one this coming Saturday down in Hattiesburg. We'll take a break on the show right now, come back, and it's going to be another edition of the Bow Time Challenge. Kevin stepping up with some chicken supremes. Had a couple of weeks off in the challenge, but we're back at it in a moment. This is the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
You think you got what it takes?
It's time for the Bow Time Challenge with Kevin Donnelly, presented by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits.
I will beat you down. I will eat you into oblivion.
Now let's head back to the Student Union and your host, Matt Swearat.
Welcome back, everybody. Time for the Bow Time Challenge, and Kevin Donnelly has a pretty good challenger here today, and it's going to be one of our students, Justin Henry, is going to step up and challenge him to the Chicken Supremes. Got 30 seconds, see who can eat the most, and let us know when you're ready. And they're off. Now, Kevin, Coach, had a little trouble last time we had the Chicken Supremes.
Yeah.
He says he won, but he had some trouble.
Yeah, he did. He had to run out on us last time. We'll see if he can handle it.
Looks like he's trying to pace himself a little more, but Justin's going right after it. Justin's had 2 already.
I think Kevin likes that tea more than he does the chicken.
Kevin won the tea challenge, Chief. He won that one in a big way.
Jamal, you're up next. Jamal, by the way, you're up next.
Time, and who's going to be the winner this time? Like, Justin had a pretty good day. And first to defeat Kevin Donnelly. Justin Henry, Niners student from Fayetteville, getting the win here today. And the first to knock off Kevin Donnelly. That should be a bigger prize than just a gift card. He's the
no
first
question.
one
That'll be
to
2
beat
gift
Kevin
cards.
Donnelly. We're going to double the gift this time.
There you go.
Nicely done. Nicely done. And Kevin's able to stay in the building this time as well. No issue last time.
That's probably why he lost. He was a little nervous.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to a saying that Coach Lambert always says. You're just 1 week away from humble pie.
That's right.
1 week away from humble pie. I was feeling good. I was 5-0. And my man just steps right up. He pulled him out of the Bojangles line. He was about to eat. I mean, it was set up against me, right? I mean, he's starving college kid, pulls him out of the line, says, hey, you want free food? He didn't know it was a contest. He was just eating that fast because he's that hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
He looked motivated from the moment he walked in the building.
He knew what eating. He is no stranger to the eating contest. I think he's been around the block a few times.
That was pretty good. So the first time Kevin
that's
goes
good effort,
down,
though.
It was.
You played hard.
I lost by a half a strip, and he beat me. It was just his day.
Your winning percentage is still pretty good. So
I like it. We're gonna keep you around. I think.
Keep you around a little longer. Speaking of winning percentages, you're going to go into a place, Coach, on Saturday down in Hattiesburg. We talk about it's just year 4. Playing football for 4 years, 2 at the FBS level. This is year number 100 for Southern Miss. They've got a lot of history down there. I think they're 9th all time in winning percentage, 58% of their games they've won. That's pretty darn good.
It is. I was reading those notes, and they're in their 100th year, and you're always like, wow, we're in year 4. We've got a little pass with Southern Miss. Our first game when we left Marshall and went to the University of Georgia, we played Southern Miss at home in Athens and lost to them on the first game in our first game at the University of Georgia. So they've been doing it at a high level for a long time. And when you're in the SEC, that's one of those teams you're always like, we don't want to play Southern Miss, and that's what we're trying to become here at Charlotte. A team that, like, people will schedule them, then they're like, ooh, I don't know if we should have scheduled them. So they've they've got a good tradition and got a new coach this year. And Jay's a fine person and fine football coach. And Coach Billings is on their staff, and he and I have coached together for many years. So I know what kind of coaching staff they have, and they've inherited a pretty senior team. So they've got them playing extremely hard.
You look at this team, and a lot of fans probably realize, too, that they had a famous quarterback one time named Brett Favre that played down there in Hattiesburg. But their quarterback right now, Nick Mullins, is pretty good, too. And he's almost throwing for 300 yards a game. Our defense has been very good against quarterbacks and haven't given up that kind of yardage in a long time. But it's going to be a challenge this week.
Yeah, I think the key is how we play up front. And we've been playing pretty well up front defensively. And they've got a really, really good tailback in Ito Smith. And so, corralling him and trying to make it a one-dimensional game is tough because they do a good job up front. So the key for us is going to be our defensive front shutting the run down once again like we did at Marshall and trying to control the game from that standpoint and then not giving up big plays, on the back end. Our guys have done a pretty good job with that, and it'll be no different this week on the road. Really good environment, trying to keep the big plays under control. I tell you another aspect that they're really pretty good in is special teams, because they got a lot of they're pretty athletic, so their special teams are really good. So we're gonna have to play extremely well all three phases of the game. But yeah, these guys, Mullins is playing at a high level. I think he might be their I'm not for sure on this, but he might be their all-time leading passer right now. I don't know if he's passed him up or not. He's right up there. He's a good player, and we're going to have to play well.
Yeah, and that's what struck me as I was looking at some of their statistics from this season was they're very balanced on offense, and that running back is special. I mean, he can do some good things. He may be one of the top two in the conference right now in Conference USA, but they have a very, like I said, balanced offense. It's going to take a team effort. Now, on the flip side of that, on the defensive side, what do you think are going to be some of the challenges for this offense this week as they go down to Hattiesburg? Well,
just how hard they play on defense. They're really multiple on defense, so they're all over the place. They'll blitz you from everywhere. And the one game that had an issue in was the San Antonio game. They gave up a lot of big plays because they're gonna pack them in there and really challenge you from a running the ball standpoint. And so San Antonio got loose on them with some big plays. That's really how they got out on them, long passes, long runs. And so that's what it's going to take. You're going to have to hit some big plays on them, but they're very active. I kind of compare them to Temple, the team that we played up there. I think these guys play extremely hard. They're pretty violent on defense. So this is a tough challenge for us up front, and Khalif's going to have to play well in this game.
Yeah, and I thought, look at them defensively. No one really jumped off the page statistics-wise, like a bunch of interceptions or things like that. But I thought the nose guard's playing pretty well. And, it's a lot like Larry. He seems very active. He's got 6 sacks on the year. He's going to be a handful on the inside. Yeah,
no question. And their linebackers are old guys, and they've played a lot of ball. So they're just really good up front. I mean, the 32, the defensive end, I mean, just a violent player. The nose guard's a good player. I mean, they get after you pretty good up front. So we're going to have to hit some plays on them, stay patient. I think one of the things that I'm really proud of our offense is our balance. We're throwing for 2-something, rushing for 180 against Marshall. The last 3 weeks, we've had really, really good balance and throwing the ball and running the ball. Hassan's making some good decisions. He's by no stretch playing perfect, but he's making some good decisions. He's creating some plays for us with his feet, especially like that first drive against Marshall. He scrambles out of the pocket, hit Warpay down the sideline. Those are big plays in a game that extend drives and keep the ball moving, and all of a sudden you punch it in. But we're going to have that balance once again offensively to keep them off schedule. So I think going in we've got to be able to run the ball, try to establish that, but we're going to have to hit some plays on them down the field.
You mentioned when you did make the quarterback change and what Hassan brought with his feet, that added aspect with his feet. And against Southern Miss, they've been really good on third down. How can Hassan help in that regard this week? Well,
I think just extending plays, that's going to be the thing. And then staying out of third and long is going to be real critical. If you're in third and long all day against these guys, it's going to be a long day. We've got to keep the chains in our advantage. And I think that's going to be the thing that Hassan gives you is the ability to not only run Khalif, but Hassan's always a threat to run the ball with the designed quarterback run plays. And I think that's going to be the critical thing is, making them account for him and keep it in a third and medium or a third and short day versus a third and long day. Because you get third and long against these guys, they're really good from that standpoint. So we're going to have to keep Hassan involved in the game from a running standpoint, and then allow him to, when we do have to drop back, we might need to move the pocket some, things like that, to keep him involved and extend plays and get some offense from that standpoint.
We mentioned earlier, of course, that he had the winning touchdown against Marshall a couple of Saturdays ago, and he got airborne, kind of channeled his inner Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And fortunately didn't get hurt. He took a pretty good fall, but showed his athleticism.
He really did, and I didn't see the fall during the game. I just saw him go over the top and saw the signal touchdown, but I didn't see the landing of that piece, man. When you saw it on film, you're like, ooh, we need to x-ray his neck, man. That was scary. When you watched it on film, it was kind of a scary thing, but he really did it. He just said, hey, we're getting this one in. He went over the top, and you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, and I think that one really showed his athleticism and it shows what he can do with his legs, but, not quite as violent, but I thought almost as equally as important play in that game was, I think it was early second half, and Marshall had a little bit of momentum kind of getting back in the game, and it was a crucial drive for the offense, and he did a nice little scramble to the left side for about 20 yards.
Yep.
That suddenly, you get that one give kind of chunk play to get your offense started. It really kind of squashed the momentum Marshall had at that point.
Yeah, and you can get a little rhythm going offensively. That's what happens to you on offense is one little play like that, kind of breaks down. He makes a play down the sideline, and all of a sudden you get in rhythm, and then Khalif, rips off a 7-yard run. So, gets you in rhythm, and that's a big part of offensive football. And if you can keep guys out of that rhythm from a defensive standpoint, that can help you.
Yeah, and just one thing with Khalif, that you're going to have to. You picked up his carries against Marshall, obviously. You want to keep him in there as much as possible. I assume you're going to keep that going because he's played an outstanding game. Yeah,
I don't like it when he's standing next to me. I like him in the game. Let's get that guy in the game. And obviously you can't wear him out, but, it's better for the 49ers when he's in, no question.
One of the guys we'll be blocking for him this week is Jamal Covington. He's our special player guest coming up in just a moment. We'll take a timeout. The Ortho Carolina Student Athlete Spotlight's coming up as Joe Prozac sat down with Justin Bolus. And after that, we'll talk to Jamal. This is Gold Mine Live on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
The Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Ortho Carolina, the official team physician of your Charlotte 49ers.
Time now for the Student Athlete of the Week. My guest this week is on the football team. It's H-back Justin Bolus. And Justin, very special season for you here, obviously, at Charlotte, as one of those guys who came in and started the program from nothing, and now you're finishing out here as one of our inaugural class members. What does this season mean to you?
This season means a whole lot. Obviously, there's a good many of us that came in as the original class, original signing class, and we've been here for the red shirt year, the full 4 years, and to see it come to fruition as it has, and to play in every game, and to see how far we've come, how much everyone's matured, it's a great experience.
Talk to me too about Charlotte in general, and what was it about this program, about this university, that made you really take a chance on it before there was a field, before there was a stadium, before there was anything?
I think a big part of it and how the coaches sold it was you got to be the building blocks of the entire franchise. It wasn't just going to a team and being a member. It was like they needed you to start this thing, and I know that's specifically what sold me, to be on the ground floor, the foundation, and you get to be in the books forever as one of the guys that took a chance and really made it happen.
And you will be in the books forever as the first ever offensive touchdown in the program's history. I've asked you about it before, but just walk me through that moment and that play again.
Oh, man, like I said to you before, I remember I messed up about 4 plays on that first series. I was so pumped, had so much adrenaline, and when we called that play, I could tell by the alignment that it was going to be wide open, and sure enough, Matt threw it, and crowd goes crazy. I didn't even know how to react. I just gave the ball to the ref and ran off the field, but that was one of the craziest experiences I've had here.
Turning away from the field now, tell me about what you studied while your time at Charlotte's nearly up, but what did you study while you were here at Charlotte, and why did you decide to go that route?
All right, so I kind of flipped a little bit. I ended up doing math, pretty unpopular subject, and I kind of got on it because I've always been good at math, and my mom kind of pressured me into it, so I stuck with it, and sure enough, this December I'll have a math degree, so that's pretty cool.
Any idea what you might want to do with it one day when your time here at Charlotte is over?
I'm not sure I will actually use it. I'm thinking about going to law school next semester. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, so we'll see.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that. That's Justin Bolus. He's on the football team, and he is the Student Athlete of the Week.
This has been the Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Ortho Carolina, the official team physician of your Charlotte 49ers.
Welcome back to Gold Mine Live here at Norm's in the Student Union, and I want to thank Joe for talking with senior Justin Bolus. We have another one of the Niners seniors, Jamal Covington, joining us now here in the Student Union, and great to see you playing again, healthy, and always good to see you, Jamal. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me here.
It's been an exciting season. You guys coming off your first couple of Conference USA wins, and being here, a guy that's been here since the start. How special is that now to start to see this in year 4, start to turn and get some of those W's?
It's been a tremendous opportunity just being a part of this football program, watching it grow over the years, just seeing growth in not only our teammates but the school and how the culture has changed, and just being a part of those wins is definitely something we've been working hard towards since we've been here, and it's been a tremendous opportunity.
Well, the win against Marshall, certainly the highlight right now of the 4 years so far, going to beating a team like that at their place, but also as an offensive lineman, that had to have been really special for you.
Oh, definitely. It was very special for me personally, just being able to honor Coach Ratliff in that way, and just really wanting to get that win for our program, and just wanted to honor him. And that was something that we all had a chip on our shoulder this week, when we, that previous week when we were in practice preparing for that game. That was something that was always in the back of our minds.
It seems kind of fitting that, you know, you were a little dinged up to start this year, and I know you're struggling through to trying to get that knee right and get back out on the field, but to have the chance that, you know, when your number was called and Eugene German unfortunately got hurt, and you had to play a lot more reps than was originally planned, but you went out there and performed well against Marshall and be a part of that. I mean, I know you're elated for the win, but then I think also personally you had to have been just relieved that you went out there and you finally contributed, because I know what it's like to be hurt and not be on the field. You got to feel like it was a great moment for you and your career for what you're going through the senior year.
Right, yes, sir. Just battling through those injuries, I understand that the Holy Spirit has a plan for me and a purpose for me, and that's something I've definitely been humbling myself on, just really utilizing that time period to be the best Jamal Covington I can be on the football field and in everything that I do.
How did it feel coming out of the game? Was the knee okay, or any other injuries pop up?
Oh, definitely. I was okay. Just being able to finally feel 100%. It was definitely a good feeling, and being able to contribute and help our football team be the best that we can be.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, it kind of came at a good time that you were able to get in there, get a bunch of reps, but then have the bye week that if, you know, there's any lingering effects from that, get some rest from that. So you're probably going into this week feeling pretty good.
Right, yes, sir. Feeling really good going in this week.
Have you looked at much film yet? Did y'all do some preparing last week, or did you just kind of focus on the team and what you could get better technique-wise, or have you already been looking at Southern Miss?
Oh, definitely. I started preparing for Southern Miss as soon as Marshall game was over with. We were on the bus on the way back to Charlotte, really watching the game film from Charlotte, and then that Sunday jumping right into Southern Miss. They're a very talented football team, and this bye week gave us the opportunity to really focus in and prepare for Southern Miss, and really utilize that time period to really fine-tune our strengths and work on our weaknesses and really be in the best position to win this Saturday.
Well, Matt, I tell you what, he's getting me fired up now that we went to football and X's and O's. He started preparing on the bus ride home from Marshall. I would have been celebrating the whole time, but good for you, man. I mean, that's what it's going to take, that kind of leadership from you guys that are seniors on this team to help those younger players, and you're starting to see that pay off. I know it's taken a while for this process to get started, but your group of seniors has to feel pretty good about what you've done to set the foundation of this team.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We feel good about what we've done so far, but we are definitely looking forward to Southern Miss and the following games, trying to put our team in the best position to get to a bowl game. And that's one of our goals, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So we're not through yet. Just trying to – something Coach Lambert talks about all the time is really attacking the moment and seizing that moment and seizing every opportunity that we get. So.
Yeah, it's going to be special. You kind of touched on a lot of it right there, but being now in November, it's November 1st tomorrow, and you guys are still playing in this your senior season with a lot on the line. That's got to, as a senior, got to make you feel really proud.
Oh, definitely. Just really trying to humble ourselves and focus in on every. Try not to look at things too much on a grand scale. Just focus on the now and what we can do now to really prepare ourselves to be successful.
We just heard from Justin Bolles as our student athlete of the week, and I know you take academics extremely personal. You want to get the best you can, not on the field but also in the classroom. And you spent your off weekend going down to Atlanta for a conference and working on your degree.
Right. That conference was a tremendous opportunity to really network and meet a lot of different business professionals, and it was a unique experience just being around a lot of different people with that all share the same mindset, all want to see and implement change in the communities and people that they come into contact with and use their talents and their gifts to influence others. So that was a tremendous opportunity.
I know you hope that once your Niner career is done, you get a chance to keep on playing. But if you don't, or you do, and after that, what's in store for you?
Definitely something that I've really tried to humble and pride myself on is being the absolute best at everything that you do. So that's something that I've grown to become, just being a part of this football program. That's the young man that my parents raised me. If you're going to do something, you have to aim to be the absolute best at it and no excuses. So that's something I try to do. I try to be the best student athlete I can be the best teammate I can be the best person I can be, because at the end of the day, I know who I'm representing. And if I'm going to put my name on it, I want the people to know who I represent and why I'm representing and why I do what I do.
Oh, we're certainly glad you're here, that's for sure, and you're doing a great job. And good luck this weekend, but also the rest of this last month and of course, down the road.
Right. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Jamal Covington has been our guest here today, and we got more to come on the show. We're going to come back talk to the women's soccer with head coach John Cullen. Soccer tournament for Conference USA will be here on campus starting this Wednesday. That's coming up next. This is the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar. Reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party. Relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Now, welcome back here, Goldmine Live with the Student Union, and going to take a break from talking with the Niners head football coach Brad Lambert to talk different kind of football with the head coach John Cullen, former Niners soccer player back in the day, and now in his 8th season as the coach of the women's team here in Conference USA's tournament. Is going to be on campus starting on Wednesday. Niners the 6th seed playing on Wednesday night against Western Kentucky. Coach, always great to catch up. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Talk about the team a little bit. You won 7-1 this year at home, and you get to host the tournament, so that's certainly a big for you going forward, a big step in your camp to try and get this conference championship here at home.
Yeah, we're extremely excited to host the tournament. Charlotte put a bid in once again, and we're delighted that we get the opportunity to host the conference tournament. There's always a bit of pressure when it's announced that you're going to host it, that you want to make sure you're in it. When you're in it to win it. Some schools in previous seasons have hosted a tournament and not been in it, and that's obviously a big disappointment. But our team is playing well. We're fit. We've got a nice balance of great upperclassmen and senior representation, and a very young squad underneath that are all contributing very well. So super excited.
You do have 5 seniors. Talk about the 5 seniors and what to expect this weekend.
Well, obviously, we want the seniors to be playing their best soccer at this time of the year. Obviously, you hope that they'll go out on a really positive note. They've represented the school extremely well over 4 years. I think they've done a great job embracing the young players and allowing those young kids to grow and evolve as players and people. But as seniors, you just have to look them in the eye and say, hey, this is your time now. This is what you wanted when you signed up for a college career. Championship opportunity, your senior year, what better opportunity to hopefully end it on a fantastic note.
tournament soccer one and done. You gotta win to advance. What's it like, going from playing just a regular season game to a game that certainly has your whole season aligned each day?
Well, I think, during the regular season, whether you win, lose, or draw, there are learning moments from every game that you take into the next game. When you get to this stage of the season, there is no next game. So if you don't do what you need to do, the business end of the season, you're cleaning out the locker room the next day and wishing everybody the best in the off season. But I think you look at the regular season to prepare you to learn more about yourself as a team, where we're good at, what we've got to improve upon. And hopefully now we just play the basics well, do the fundamentals correct. We need some good fortune like every team does, stay healthy and take our chances. So, when it's one and done, it's all about everything on the line. Give it all you got. If you're winning, do everything you can to maintain that winning position. If you're losing, give it everything you can to get back in the game.
You have to feel good about where it's set up, though, because you played so well this season at home. Your home record 7-1, and so with that group of seniors, they get to stay at home. They're hosting the tournament. It's got to feel like you're in good position if you're going to make a run here, that you can make a nice run at home.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. I mean, I think, the field, the ground staff do a phenomenal job of putting a great surface. Both ourselves and the men's program like to play a good brand of soccer, and we got a wonderful facility here. We travel around the country and play at other venues, and our players always talk about how excited about they are our own facility. So, the 12th man being Niner Nation fans push us over the line. They give us that little bit of extra edge that we always need. And so we're excited to be at home. I mean, it's comfort. It's knowing how the pitch plays and knowing that we've got a great fan support. I believe we lead the conference in attendance, so we're really appreciative of the fans and the support that we get being the 12th man.
Well, I think it's a great chance for you guys to showcase your program too. With hosting the tournament, you're going to get a lot of people on this campus, a lot of eyeballs on that soccer. It's got to be great that, especially with the freshman group that you've brought in, that you have a chance to reach even younger players that may have prospects or desires to come to this program and be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was out in the community at the weekend doing a bit of recruiting and bumped into a lot of people in the soccer fields at games, and they were wishing us well. But then I think they obviously feel very good about how Charlotte utilizes young players and how quickly they play here and how much we valued them as young people and good players. So I think we're getting lots of support from the people in the community who are wishing us well for this upcoming week. A lot of people are telling me we'll be there Wednesday night, Coach. So we're excited. I mean, the weather looks fantastic. The field looks great. The girls are buzzing. Now it's just about putting it all together when the whistle blows.
Well, the way the bracket kind of plays out, the number one seed is North Texas. They're going to be on the opposite side of y'all. You're going to take on Western Kentucky, the 3 seed. Give us a little bit of a scout report on the Hilltoppers.
Well, ironically, there's, besides ourselves, there's 7 other teams in the conference tournament, and Western Kentucky, the only team we haven't played. We've played the other 6 teams, so in one way, I think it's good for both programs, the unknown a little bit. When you've beaten a team previously, you always worry about, can you replicate that? If you've lost to a team, you start to think mentally, does that affect you? But having about to play Western Kentucky, that we have no preconceived ideas about, having not played, I think it's a go for it kind of game. They're very good. They don't give away a lot of goals. They've got a front 2 that are very dynamic and dangerous and athletic. Well-organized team, well-coached team. I think the fact that they don't give up a lot of goals means it's going to be a tight game. We're going to have to take our chances. But, they've had a great season, and we know we're in for a real battle. A couple of weeks ago, they looked like they may have been the number 1 seed. So, obviously, they're legitimately on a good run of form and a good team, and it's a very tough opening game.
You guys all led by junior Martha Thomas. What can we expect this week from you all in terms of what's your strengths going into the tournament? Do you feel like you're doing really well right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think for the most part, we've got people that can score goals for us. I mean, we've got Megan Green as a freshman who's got 9. We've got Martha Thomas as a senior who's got 9. So you've got 2 girls up front, between them combined 18 goals. If they're on fire, I think that gives us a chance not just to win this game on Wednesday night, but to win the whole thing. We've got seniors spread around the correct parts of the pitch at the back and the midfield. But I think we're potent. We can score goals. We create chances. We create the most chances in conference. So I always feel like there's always a goal in the game for us. And if we take our chances, I legitimately think we're good enough to go and win this whole thing.
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck this week. And go get those Hilltoppers.
Matt, appreciate it. Kevin, thanks for having me on, guys.
Coach John Cullen's been our guest, all-time winningest head coach for the Niners soccer program on the women's side and former Niner player as well. Wish him all the best. The first game coming up at Wednesday, 7 o'clock against Western Kentucky here on campus at Transamerica Field. Back with more of the show in a moment with Coach Brad Lambert. This is the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar. Reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party. Relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
And welcome back to Gold Mine Live, back with head coach Brad Lambert and Kevin Donnelly. And Swarad with you. And it's a big week coming up on campus this week. Of course, the men's football team is going to be on the road at Southern Miss, but starting Wednesday, we just had Coach Cullen on. The Conference USA women's soccer tournament starts on Wednesday with the 4 games. It starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. Number 1 seed North Texas takes on the 8th seed Monarchs of Old Dominion. Coming up on Thursday, that tournament goes through the weekend. Coming up on Thursday, the Niners women's basketball team will take the floor for the first time at Halton Arena. Exhibition game against Pfeiffer. That's this Thursday at 7 o'clock. And then a week from Friday, we open up the season for good with a doubleheader. The women take on Wisconsin, and the men will take on Newberry on the 11th. And then we're home for a football game on the 12th against Rice. So it's going to be a busy couple of weeks on campus and almost that overlap time coaching basketball. And it's always a fun time this time of year.
This is the best time of year, in my opinion, on college campus, especially in a city like Charlotte. You know, the weather's great, and there's a lot going on college campus. It's a hard time of year for you guys. Media guys, you guys stay plenty busy. I always laughed at Stan up at Wake, once basketball started and you're finishing up football, and hopefully we get on a little rundown here and we can stretch the season even farther. That's our goal, to try to take it on even farther. But it's a great time for all our fans and alumni, everybody to come back to campus. The weather's great. We're a great city. Got the Panthers here. The Hornets are playing. It's just a fun time of year, and it's one of my favorite times.
As we go into this week down at Southern Miss, you guys again right now 2-2 in Conference USA. They're 3-1. For folks that maybe just joined the show now, talk about the matchup a little bit and what makes Southern Miss really tough.
Well, they're just really active on defense. I just really like their defense. You're going to have a hard time scoring on them. They're very athletic. They got seniors at all levels. And then offensively, their quarterback, tailback, just phenomenal players. Mullins, he's a really good player. He knows what to do with the ball. He can extend the plays. And I think Smith's as good a running back. He's very similar to Jihad Thomas, the guy we played at Temple. Kind of that size-wise, very athletic, can make you miss in the open field. So getting a hold of him is going to be a challenge. They do a really nice job with their run-pass options. So they'll have a run call, and Nick will get the ball out on the perimeter when you got too many guys in there to stop the run, and he'll get the ball out on the perimeter. It's kind of where college football has evolved, is to these making the quarterback make quick decisions whether to hand the ball off or to throw it to a wide out. So he does a good job with that. I thought the guy at Marshall did a nice job of that. Got the ball out of his hands pretty quick, handled the ball extremely well, and the quarterback at Southern Miss is no different. So we're going to have to be in position to make tackles, do a good job tackling in the open field, and then special teams wise, we got to keep evolving, keeping the pressure on, and I like where our percentage is field goal wise right now. Our kickoff team needs to be a little better. We're going to try to change that up some, where we kick the ball, things like that. Got to continue in that process. But that's going to be the keys to the game, is creating some big plays offensively and then trying to limit these guys' big plays offensively on the road. And what's going to be a lot of fun for our guys is, just got to play at Marshall. Now you're going to Southern Mississippi. It'll be a nice crowd. They're playing for the conference championship. They need to beat us to stay in that race on that side with Louisiana Tech. San Antonio's putting pressure on everybody over there. We've got to win to keep pace with everybody, and we got to have some help along the way. But we're in pretty good shape to control our own destiny, really, if we just win games and, look up and be in the thick of this thing at the end. But this is a tough one on the road. If we can get this one on the road, I kind of challenged our team last week with, that curiosity factor of what would it look like to go on the road, beat Marshall. We did that, and now what would it look like to go beat Southern Mississippi on the road? What would that do for us as a program and such a young stage of it? So let that curiosity run wild, guys, and kind of picture that in your mind.
Got to get one last break, and we'll do that right now. Come back with the final moments of this show, getting ready for the Southern Miss game coming up this Saturday down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This is Gold Mine Live with the Student Union on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back here to the Student Union Gold Mine Live. 2 more minutes left before we wrap up the show. And, the Niners getting set to go into Southern Miss, take on the Golden Eagles. And right now, Southern Miss is a half game out of first place in the West Division. La Tech is 4-1. Southern Miss is 3-1. Coach mentioned they played for the conference championship last year, trying to get back to that championship game. The Niners hoping to knock them off this week and get to the 3-win plateau in conference play. They're right now 2-2 in the league, playing in the East Division, and 3-5 overall. Coach, you mentioned special teams before we took our last break, and I wanted to ask you about, I know you're not going to give away what you're going to do this week, but you did kind of shake things up last week, and after Alex Gardner took a couple of big returns back against FIU, you guys kind of shortened things up, make sure you didn't get that big return against you last week.
Yeah, you just try to move the ball around a little bit. We'll continue to do different things with our kickoff team to try to spread the ball around, because kickoff return really is all about timing. The timing of the blocks and hitting it at the right time. And as a kickoff returner, you don't have time to bounce around. You gotta hit it, see the opening, and go. And so when you can take the ball and put it in different spots on the field, because Blake hasn't been a guy that's just kicked it out of the end zone. So we need to place the ball, do a little bit more with it, and throw the timing off of the blocks, because our goal is to keep him inside the 25, because if it goes in the end zone, the ball's coming to the 25. So we want to keep him inside the 25. And so we got to continue to do that, whether we're running guys around or stacking guys or, where we're placing the ball. So we got to continue to look at that.
And staying back again with Blake Brewer at the kicking position this week?
Yeah, we will. We'll stay with Blake. He's had a pretty good month. He's kind of, used practice. We chart everything in practice. And, it was funny about the FIU game. He made the 49-yard field goal on Thursday, and Steven missed it. That's why I went with him, that Saturday. So he's done a good job, and, competition is good at all positions.
Well, going into this game, you look at that game and say, well, we missed the field goal, could have won it, but really, you never know what happens the next week. Sitting at 2-2, you're pretty happy right now with the year 4 and being 2-2 in Conference USA? Yeah,
I think so. We got a couple of league wins. Like to have that FIU one at the end, but to go on the road and win at a program like Marshall, that's a pretty good standard to kind of set yourself on. And so this one again this week, if we could go down to Southern Mississippi and win this back-to-back on the road at 2 really good programs that have won a lot over the years. That would be big for us. So like where we are, I think we can make a real run down the stretch. I like the way our guys are playing. But we just gotta continue to build and stay the course and keep working. Our guys are working extremely hard. They're practicing hard. Our coaches are doing a good job with them. So we just got to stay on track.
Finally, before we wrap things up, we haven't talked about any of the receivers, but talk about, as a whole, the receiving corps, because that's going to be big this week. Yeah, it is. Like the way those guys are playing, we're trying to get Austin the ball as much as we can. TL4's really emerged as one of the best wide receivers in our league. And Warpay, been really proud of him. He's a guy that, he doesn't say much. He just shows up every day. He brings his lunch pail and goes to work, and been really proud of him in the absence of Trent. He's a guy that stepped up and taken ownership of that. And so that group as a whole has really played well. The hard thing for wideouts is there's only one ball. And, we're going to make sure Khalif touches it. We can get it to Khalif because we just hand it to him. You got to find ways to get the ball to those guys. Coach, going to wrap it up. good luck this weekend, Southern Miss.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's going to wrap it up for us. Before we do step aside, though, Will Long, who's been our studio host, going to take the rest of the month off because he and his wife Casey are going to have a baby. Their first child coming up very shortly. So wish Will and Casey all the best with their first baby coming. It's going to be a daughter born very soon. So all the best to Will Long. And we'll be coming to you from Southern Miss this Saturday on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network. So for Kevin Donnelly, Coach Brad Lambert, I'm Matt Swerat. So long, everybody.